Okay, let's talk for a minute. All right. Thoughts after almost 3.5 hours of playing. All right. It doesn't say anything weird in the background now. Don't worry about it. There's nothing weird in the background. All right. Here's the thing. We got beta access for the game. We've been streaming for almost 3.5 hours. We're streaming this every day this week, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do not already, then follow us over on Twitch. You can get drops, win a beta key. Follow us over on Kick. Watch over on YouTube. We have over, I think, like a rent of like 1,100, 1,200 people watching. So evidently, people are definitely interested in Neverness. And that's because the game is a very promising gacha game. Now, what do we think?
Interesting things. When are you finally gonna show up?
So far, we've experienced what? A few dungeons.
The story.
Yeah, the story. We've
Getting arrested.
Yeah, we got arrested.
Not paying the fee.
Not paying the fine.
Being on parole.
The parole system, yeah. We got to experience...
finding the random anomalies in the open world and fighting those.
Can't let it go to waste.
Yes, that's true. We got to experience the incredible control of the Vespa. The stealing of the cars, driving backwards. Okay, let's just tackle this bit by bit, okay? What do we think of the character models?
Not that good. I really like purple hair girl here. I like the girl wearing the kimono.
Hitori, yeah.
The one-winged girl, her eyes are just so far apart.
This one.
Can't.
Chat.
Like, zoom up at her face. Let them really see them eyes.
Yeah, she really had the potential to be a very cool looking character. She ended up just being derpy as fuck.
Like, the rest of her model, like 10 out of 10.
She looks phenomenal.
Yes. And like her booty looks really good.
So, I mean, character models, they're hit and miss. There are some that are very good, and then there's some that are absolutely terrible. There are more bad and more mid characters, unfortunately, than there are good.
The tiny characters look cute. I have no notes on those.
Yeah, the little kid characters.
Those look very cute. I know you're probably not gonna play them, but I probably.
Well, that's because
will.
I hate lollies.
I know. I just they're cute.
The voice acting. That is very hit or miss. So, some of the characters have really good voice acting, right? Like Natalie, or Nanalie as they call her. Fakasha Bread has a great voice actor. The NPC guy that looks like Welt from Honkai Star Rail has a great voice actor. The dog man has a great voice actor. The chick from the beginning in the business suit, the one with the long hair and the glasses, she sounded like she had AI voice acting.
Interesting things.
Some of the NPCs you see around the town sound like they have AI voice acting. Overall, though, I think the voice acting is pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you evidently you're not going to be perfect. You know, not every character is going to be received well, and you have some Genshin voice actors here too, like Hu Tao voicing the Mint from the game.
And they do a good job with Mint.
Yeah, there are plenty of characters that have emotion. Then the expression in the character designs and the cutscenes is incredible.
I would not say incredible. I would not say incredible.
You don't think
good?
That, you know,
No, incredible is like Zenless Zone 0, and what Wuwa is slowly becoming. But incredible, you're looking at ZZZ, where I can look at the expression and like feel it, like very animated. It's not quite.
Well, we're not just talking their facial expressions. We're talking their also how they express themselves physically with the jumping around, the the animations and everything all combined and all encompassing.
It's halfway there. It's halfway there. It's getting there.
The outside of the cutscenes, though, just in the normal conversations and the normal chats, they are really, really stationary and just. I mean, it is incredibly ordinary and generic, but not in a bad way. I don't think it's just.
But not in a good way either.
Yeah,
It's
not in a
just
good way either.
okay.
They're just super basic and like they don't even really move while
I think
talking.
I'm just gonna rate overall the character stuff in whole okay.
What I really don't like though is outside of the cutscenes when you see them and when they're walking around and everything, their mouths don't move.
Yeah.
That is really annoying. That is crazy that
Interesting thing.
they don't actually move. Like their
you
mouths are
finally gonna show
completely
up?
still and shut.
Yeah.
So like this is a game releasing in 2025 or 2026. That definitely should not be present. Then we have the combat. So the combat is not Wuthering Waves. I know people were saying based off of like the small amount of footage we had, this is better than Wuthering Waves combat.
No, it's very ZZZ.
Yeah,
It's
this is
not like super hard. Kind of, you dodge when you see the bright thing, the red notification.
Can't
You
let it go to
parry
waste.
as well with the notification. Like it's not that difficult.
Yeah, like David said, it's ZZZ with jump.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I would rate the combat pretty solid.
No,
Like,
so the
it's-
combat has like perfect dodges, it has parries, it has like intro and outro skills.
It's the what you're fighting to me that seems a little.
The monsters are really underwhelming because they kind of just like the majority. We've been playing for 3.5 hours, right? The monsters just kind of stand there
Interesting
and like
thing.
just kind of swing
When are you
around
finally
like they're
gonna show
training dummies.
They
And
have a
occasionally
couple
they'll like
mechanics.
try to smack you with their little wacky inflatable arm tube man arms, and you know that is when you can dodge or parry. But outside of that, they're super predictable and barely do anything. They hit you for like 5, maybe 10 damage, and you have thousands of HP. And you hit them for like the same. It takes you forever. They are incredible damage sponges.
But stepping away
Interesting
and just
things.
looking at this
When are you
game
finally
compared
gonna show
to
up?
all the other gotcha games that we have right now,
Like coming or just presently?
just
like
present, just
okay.
present.
It's like Zenless, Star Rail, Genshin.
I'm a little afraid how it's gonna do overall. I think it's gonna have its niche. I think it'll do okay. But with some work, I think this could probably be okay. Decent, even. The thing going for it is kind of like that GTA
let
aspect.
it
They
go to
really need to lean
waste.
hard into that, I think. Anime GTA would be a good hard push into this.
Because you can drive cars, you can steal cars, like requisition cars. You can ride your little Vespa around the town. There are wanted levels. The cops do chase you. It's really, really janky and incredibly unintuitive and really poorly handled. Because the driving in the car is not very good. The Vespa itself, you hit your A or D key, and you literally
let it
do
go
like a
waste.
90-degree turn into a wall. It might be a lot better with controller support, I'm not sure, but...
I haven't gotten a car yet. I've only driven the little Vespa, which was a little difficult, but I'm not the best driver in games, so I
So-
don't know if I'm the person to talk
You will
here.
hear later today, as of this video going live, which is tomorrow for everyone watching right now, what she thinks of the driving, but it does not handle very well. It handles like a PS1 Gran Turismo game or a PS1 Need for Speed game. It definitely, if it releases with that
When are you finally gonna
with that
show up?
handling, it's gonna be really, really underwhelming. The police, when they were chasing you, man, they're like, you're doing max speed, and they hit that NOS button, and they're a mile ahead of you, and they're like swerving, somehow getting underneath you, and
But if you think about it, okay, it was really funny at first. How funny is that going to be like 20 times in?
Interesting
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Is that going to
When are
be
you finally
interesting,
gonna show
a game mechanic that you're going to want to continue make pop up? Is it?
I think it's fun and funny initially, but the more you do it, like the more
Like
you're
if
gonna
you
be like,
if you sit
"Fuck,
there and think about it,
again."
like even chat can think about this. Like if you had that mechanic popping up every single
time you
time,
stole an item off a shelf,
When
or
are
every
you
time you tried to take
finally
a
gonna show
car, or
is that going to be fun in the long run?
and then
is
the
my
parole
question.
system. Oh my god, 15 minutes of not being able to even ride your Vespa. That was crazy.
So I'm not sure.
The best way to get away was going in reverse, exactly. For some reason, the cops couldn't chase you when you were reversing.
Reverse?
They just stopped and were like, what is that guy doing? As you're driving away in reverse, like, catch me now, sucker. And they're like, is that dude reversing away from? Hey, Bob, how do we handle that? Do we chase him? No, we just let him drive away, reverse away. I've never seen someone reverse away from a collective of cops before. What do we do? And then Bob's like, I don't know, Fred. Maybe we should radio this in. And
I would like to experience more of this game though, because I would be very curious what happens beyond the 3 hours that we've been playing.
Well, that's what we're gonna be streaming for the next several days.
Yeah.
The Gacha though, I think is very interesting. The animation for Gacha is terrible. The whole dice board thing is so bad. I love the fact there's no 50-50. Fantastic design choice. I don't know if the pity carries over for like the guarantee between banners. Mm-hmm. So I as an example in Arknights Enfield, as I addressed earlier, if I recall correctly, in Arknights Enfield, the guarantee does not carry over, so you can get like 77 pulls through your guarantee, and then a new banner launches and you lose the 77 that you had. So I don't know if in NTE, if you hit the like 88 out of 90 of your guarantee, and then you're 2 off when the next banner hits and you didn't know what was coming, the new banner hits and then you're back to 0. I think that would suck.
Yeah.
It'd be really bad.
Can't let it go to
But for
waste.
sure, I'm going to put these things in the suggestion bin to them, and hopefully people playing it or watching it can make suggestions to them.
But the dice board animation though, when circling, it was so underwhelming.
Yeah.
There was not a single person, I think, out of the, I think the stream has reached like 20,000 people in the 3 hours we've been playing total, like cumulatively.
No,
And
this doesn't feel like TOF again. This feels better than TOF.
a lot better, yeah. This is a
Interesting
marketable
thing.
improvement over Tower Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm finally gonna show up.
But
I'm just looking at it compared to what we have right now. What is making this particular game stand out, and the thing that it has to offer that the other gacha games don't have is that GTA aspect. I
but
don't know
that
how
is a
they're going to
really
lean into that.
poorly implemented version of it.
Correct.
So, because like, and I know there are a lot of people that don't believe Ananta's coming. That's perfectly fine. But Ananta, right, it offered you more, in theory, than just the GTA aspect of like the car stealing and the wanted levels.
Interesting things.
But this just feels like,
Finally gonna show up.
in the few hours we played, the same game that we have, just not as good and with really poorly designed like GTA elements implemented. But that might be a lot better because this is a beta test. Like, we'll end this by stating, yes, this is a beta test. So everything here is subject to change. Everything will very likely get better between now and release. Everything will probably get better between where we are now in the game and where we are 3 days from now in the game. So we have experienced very little. 3.5 hours only. And we're going to experience more with everyone here over the next several days. We're going to document everything over the next several days. And then after we've completed everything that this beta test has to offer, we'll have a more comprehensive video detailing every single thing we think. Right now, this is our initial impressions. This is what we think, having played for several hours. This is what people are going to think when they get into the game and experience it for the very first time. And this is the time to give your constructive feedback so they can improve. I stress this time and time again. There's no point during a beta being nice. Don't sit there and guzzle the cum of the devs because there's no point. If you let them release a subpar product, you're going to get a subpar product. If you tell them all the things they need to improve, they have the opportunity to improve on all of them and give you a much better game. And at the end of the day, we all want good games, we want better games. So they have a lot of areas to improve, but they also do a lot well so far.
Yeah, like the combat.
Yeah.
That was fun, but what you're fighting, not fun.
Based off of 3.5 hours of gameplay the night that it launched, because it launched
Show up.
3.5 hours ago, or almost 4 hours ago. So we'll be playing it every day this week though. If you guys want to come on over and join us, we'd love to have you experience all of this together. Win your beta keys if you can. And just don't misconstrue this as us saying the game is bad, because it's not. I would say, based off of everything we've experienced so far, this is a solid 6 out of 10 for a beta. This might improve to a 7 or an 8 out of 10 for a beta as we make our way through it. But right now, solid 6 out of 10, no problem.
Because I played the Genshin betas, like the early betas. It was poop.
I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.